Yes, 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 yes. We're here, we're here, we're here. And we do indeed recommend the both of what you would call the healing sessions that have been channeled through us to be able to move in from listening to the first one directly, then listen to the second one, because you're already at this very complete relaxed state. You have dropped all your barriers of worry. You have dropped all your distractions. You have got yourself into a very beautiful balance and harmony. And we wish this for all of you. And you know that this is a tool to practice, as we wish you all to choose to instantly relax your body and mind as soon as you notice new tension in and within the bodies, within the mindsets. We know also we haven't asked you to directly focus on your heart, not your physical organ, but your emotional heart. We are wanting to balance you and strengthen you to be able to not play with the emotions as much as you are wanting to, as we are wanting you, with much love, empower yourselves. It's a physical empowerment, it's a mental empowerment to be able to withstand, to be able to withstow, to be able to bestow balance and harmony with the emotions when time becomes of essential needs. And so some of what you would call star seeds, our beloved soul families, have found it too emotionally raw and painful to feel your way through living. And the more and more that you are consumed by consumerism, materialism, peer pressure, social cliques, and society driving you to its own agenda, away from spirituality and to other forms of control and manipulation, away from thinking for self, away for feeling self. We want to say, as many of you have learnt to protect yourselves, you've become what you could call, and this is not a judgment, but liars to yourselves. You don't want to feel into the pain of each other. You don't want to feel into the pain and confusion of self. And so you may start picking up other habits so you don't need to speak and think and feel for self. You may need tools to numb thyself. And we're guiding you and watching you. You still can hold high frequency while being tipsy. You needed to heal from past traumas. And if you're still holding on to those past traumas, you will need the aids to release you temporarily from that ache, from that pain. What comes first, the habit or the inner work overdue? And we're saying it's the inner work that is overdue, that needs to be addressed. Once you fully can understand from a metaphysical perspective what your soul contract was to help you empower yourself, not break you, not disempower yourself, not to forget you are the one that creates these lives. For all of those experiences, and for many of you who are natural, what you could say, born leaders, your empathy has turned into your insecurities because you have not been able to empower yourself with your intuition, your knowing, your intuitive, natural abilities and talents became your weaknesses as you were trying to understand with a logical mind, a human mind, what was going on in this world, in the state of this world. You can see how many have got confused and lost. And yet we never lost you. You only lost your minds temporarily. And we say this with love, so much love. Some of you feel proud of yourselves because you didn't become alcoholics or drug addicts, but you became pharmaceutical clients. And so we want you to look at all your behaviors and routines and habits. Our beloved soul family, our soul friends. We are wanting you to look at your behaviors in terms of sleep routines. Are you worried about what your body is naturally doing? Are you worried your conscious mind jumps back into the body at what you consider to be ungodly hours? And we are saying, since you're all gods, you're all aspects of source, you're all one. God does not close for holidays or weekends. God is open for all, and God is always there. You are always there for yourself when you're consciously aware of self. Some of you are not aware that even though you are doing your human life routines, you are consciously outside of the body, not so far away, but you are not needing to feel the density because you are wanting to, as if have a daydream, but outside of the body. You know the body is doing its routines. It doesn't need you thinking. It goes on automatic pilot, your bodies. Are you noticing that? And when your consciousness jumps back into the body to then take over to do something else, it can. You may notice the shift. It's very capable. Remembering you're not the bodies. You just have a body that you physically move your soul essence around as you are communicating and pretending to be human. And you notice that everyone else is pretending to be human. And this is the play and the game that you're currently all involved with. Are you enjoying it? Are you realizing that you can get so distracted within the game that you take it too seriously? Remembering you wanted to come here to have certain experiences. So have you asked yourself, what more experiences would your soul like to have while it is here on Earth in 3D now? This is something you should all be exploring. This is often where you will find your joy, to remember that you can take the body out for a walk. Treat it like a pet. Some of you love your pets more than you love your physical bodies, and we're asking why. Because this is a time to love thyself fully without any limitations, discomfort of judgment. This is a time to cherish all. And you know, we have said this many times, it all starts with self. Your self-acceptance, your self-approval, your self-love, your self-attention, to be able to give you love and acknowledgement and respect and empowerment. When you seek this from outside sources, you are disempowering yourselves and potentially disempowering others as they are needing to focus on self as well. Sometimes you can lean on others accidentally, and this is distracting them. While of course it's always to be of service for each other, think of it like life coaches. No. Surf coaches. No. Lifesavers, but in terms of the swimming pool. And they are standing there watching with their whistles, watching everyone play in the pool. And you can be in complete control of the way you choose to play in the pool. And if you get stuck and overwhelmed, gasp too much, inhale too much water, this is when you can when you are drowning, rely on the life-saving surf saver. We're trying to seek the appropriate term for this this watcher over water for those who are swimming. And they are trained to dive into the water and resuscitate and rescue those who get stuck. It's the same as life surfers that are on the beaches. The vehicle is too relaxed and far away to be able to help us assist in this translation. So we apologize for our lack of familiarity with your labels that humans will refer to certain occupations and services that humans do for each other when they are wanting to have leisurely experiences in the water. We are saying that you are very capable of becoming amazing athletes in the water if you choose. You don't actually need to have assistance. And we are sort of saying, we understand that you have your Olympic Games, and even in your Olympic Games, when there are advanced athletes that are at world-class level, even then they have the lifesavers watching over them in case they need to have a buoy sent to them to be able to help relieve them and to assist them if they get stuck. And sometimes they do for certain reasons, but we have digressed ourselves, we have distracted ourselves, we should say, because this is really you, our advanced souls, having earth human lives. And there is truly nothing that you can't accomplish. You're very advanced. And while you're still playing and distract yourselves in the swimming pool, we are saying some of you are in toddler swimming pools, still thinking that social cliques and trying to keep up with each other's spiritual egos are not serving you. We see this, and it actually is limiting and blocking many of you as you are trying to be in a cool club versus a growing club of independent personal journey. And this is not judgment, but we are noticing that some of you are not growing as your soul and your subconscious, your higher versions of self would like you to do, because it is distracting. And this is where we find it confusing, where you still judge those who are not aware of the conspiracies that you are aware of. But we say conspiracies in terms of disempowerment of humanity. Those, unfortunately, are very strong. And while you have awoken to that, some of you have not awoken to certain influences and group circles that are holding you back. And it's almost as if you're too polite to advance yourself. And you know this, and you feel that some of these groups you've outgrown. And then you worry this is ego. Then you worry this is something that is not good in the spiritual world. And we're saying all growth is good in the spiritual world. You do not need to do other people's inner work. You do not need to keep small. This is a time to shine. We have said this to you before, and we're saying this to you again. It is very easy for you to grow and empower yourselves at a rapid rate. We are seeing many have been activated now as you are getting closer to your coming events that need more diligence of balance of mind and heart and compassion and stewardess of support. There is so much to be said about that, and we already have said enough for you to know that this is a serious time. And while we're still wanting you to have fun and joy until these events occur for your location, we're asking you to strengthen yourself, remove judgment, and to be able to have complete compassion for all. if someone comes to you needing your help, will you still judge them because of past? Or will you be open to supporting them in their time of need? This is a significant thing. You are to still be of service to all. You came to be of service to all. You came to support those who are souls who are calling Earth their home planet. They are, while they have had many more lifetimes than some of you listening here on Earth, they are still needing a hand. They still feel the density tremendously because I've had so much more experiences here on Earth. It is quite the challenge for them. They will be struggling tremendously with what they would consider to be constant colds, constant flus, constant aches, constant problems with the body. If they don't have a sore throat or a cough, they've got diarrhea. They just can't seem to get themselves back to normal. And then if they feel like they are getting back into a normal routine, their sleep cycles are disrupted, or their ears are ringing off the hook, we wanted to say, because we're dialing in so much messages for you. And so there is much to be said about those who are transmuting and healing from many lifetimes I've had here. They are the ones that need more love and support and encouragement and kindness. And then there are some that we see are very angry and spiteful and very judgmental. They think their way of spirituality and their personal path is the only way to go. They still feel like they are entitled to call things evil. They are still feeling entitled that they can call things good and bad. And they judge people on their choices of good and bad. This may be their food choices. This may be a whole lot of things. You can only love each other and inspire each other to empower each other. But we see some of you are holding yourselves back because you are entitled to think that you are advanced. And we say all souls are advanced. It's only you playing the human role that makes you look. We could say a word that would sound judgmental, but we are saying we're going to use the coin phrase that Dolores Cannon said in reference to using your Mr. Stupid. And so, again, it is about seeing your habits, seeing your behaviors, seeing your crutches, your tools, and the ways that you're using your free will at this important time. And so we are saying to practice releasing all tension from the physical body is a really fantastic way to calm the emotions, because when you start noticing the emotions, this is when you tense your body up tremendously, and this can start shocking the body's energetic field as well as its organs. And since you are attached to the body, and when you are doing things to the body, you will feel what you're doing to the body. This is a big one. If you haven't done enough of your inner work to heal from past, you will manifest a lot of discomfort, a lot of pain, a lot of tension, a lot of self-sabotaging of the body when you haven't done enough of your inner work to realize the lessons that your life has given you. Sometimes your perspectives on things is very victim. And when you have a victim mentality, it starts eating into the body. This is something that you all need to explore, what is happening to your body. If you have any aches or tensions in the body, this is something that is a message for you that you need to look and explore. It is reminding you, where is your points in your body you cannot release and let go emotionally, physically, mentally. And if you have a blocked perspective and it has lasted a long time, it will grow and grow and grow physically, and you will notice it physically more and more and more. There is a divine link between your mindsets and your spirituality and your physical bodies. And some of you have been coerced into labeling certain lack of inner work into medical health issues. And we are saying you're supposed to empower yourself instead of labeling it something it's not. You must go to the root of the issue emotionally, mentally, physically, versus labeling it and then getting prescription or something else to put a band-aid over the root problem that you are holding on to emotionally, mentally, physically. We're saying this with love because you can instantly release and heal yourselves when you choose to take ownership and responsibility of what you're doing to your bodies. This is part of an amazing journey of self-empowerment when you heal yourselves. We do want to say some of you have chosen it to be life contracts versus just simply a choice of your free will. And so which one is it? This is why it is good to be able to know thyself, to be able to explore all that is happening. Is this your free will choices to create illnesses and sicknesses and diseases? Or is this a life contract, which is also being your predestined choices as you chose your life contracts to be here now? Which one is it? Because you can override your healthy life contracts with your use of free will. And so it is significant for you to learn all lessons, all messages from a metaphysical perspective. And if you can't trust us to help you and assist you to give you a new perspective, often you have tripped over not feeling loved at some point in your life, or many points in your life. And this hurt of lack of love from self, lack of love from others, has poisoned your mind against you to believe that you are loved. And therefore you're choosing to poison the body or to self-sabotage the body. We say this in a very dramatic way, but you're very capable of doing tremendously hideous things to your bodies, as well as amazing empowerment to your bodies to enlighten you mentally, physically, spiritually. It is a fantastic time when you make choices that empower you, and also it's a fantastic time if you choose to disempower you because we are supporting you and we know your life contracts. And we're trying to guide you and show you you are supported, you are loved. You are going through this life lesson, these life experiences, often to be of service to others. But unfortunately, when you are distracted with the things you haven't learnt from and overcome from yet, this can then impact some of the being of service to others. When there is disbalance in the body, there is energy blocks. And so when you are being called upon to hold higher frequency vibrations, if there is a block in your perspective of mindsets and a overthinking, overreactive, busy mind, you may find when you get higher frequency energies flooding your body, it can cause tremendous headaches, because you are noticing the headache constantly and you're reminding yourself of this discomfort, of this headache, and you will fixate and focus on it again and again and again. And we are saying it is like kicking your toe and telling yourself again 1,000 times about that. And again, it happened once, but because you're reminding yourself of it, you're putting yourself back in that sort of state of trauma and pain, even though the physical pain only occurred once. And so when you are noticing certain changes in the bodies, you are wanting to keep recreating what happened to you over again and again and again. And so you actually do create the headache longer than say it actually is there. And so some of you just need some time out. You're not allowing yourself to have some downtime because you're so busy keeping yourself distracted from doing your inner work. And so you are doing too many things to distract yourselves physically, and this is not a time to do too much physical activities as we are sending profound new levels of energy through you to be of service, to upgrade not only your physical bodies, but all energy fields that you are marinating your own energy fields within. So this is not just who lives with you or who even lives sort of close to you. It can actually be quite far, your energetic fields. This is, again, something you should be able to explore in your own sessions when you're connecting into who you are. You are not, as we've said before, the end of your skin. You know that you are somewhere within this body most of the time. And so you're trying to figure out who you are, where you are, what you are. And it can be challenging for many people to realize you are beyond your physical selves, even in this 3D reality. And this is why many trolls on the internet get caught up by intuitive people, because your troll-like behaviors can be felt around the world when people are watching your behaviors and demeanors and your integrity and intentions. They can feel it. They can feel that. Everyone has been a child at some point, and everyone has remembered what it feels like to just be overreactive and to be attention seeking. Everyone is aware of the range of emotions. And so when you're trying to manipulate people and trying to cause disruption to others, it is not a foreign behavior. And so it gets very easily exposed, especially for parents who have little children and deal with many people. And so, again, we would like to focus our attention on those who have been using and calling upon the profound advanced level of frequency and holding that within the energy fields, because they are having a marvelous time. They are feeling so uplifted. They have ease and joy and grace in their lives, and they have a smile on their hearts and in their faces and in their minds, because they know they're in balance. They know that they're at peace, and they know everything as well. They know that they're loved and guided. They have no problems and no worries, and they are truly living their best versions of Earth life, because they have got that advanced perspective and mature wisdom. They have much to look forward to and honor. It is a marvelous thing, and almost quite well a bragging point for a soul. To say they had inner peace on Earth is a tremendous thing. And while we know many are trying to achieve it, and it may not always be a consistent frequency, because you're still needing to be of service, and part of being of service to others is to match their frequency energy to understand deeply what's going on with them. And so this is not you bottoming out your frequency vibrations. This is you being of service to absorb that density, to recognize it, to honor it, to be able to help those people express to themselves and to you what is physically going on with them emotionally. This is significant. And so it is helpful for talk therapy to be able to share thoughts and feelings, to identify them. That is all that is needed to heal. identify the feelings, identify the emotions, and accept them, and honor them, and love them, and have faith and trust that amazing experiences are to be had and held and experienced for all who choose them, for all who have done their hard inner work to empower themselves to be empowering others with love, to inspire them. This is a profound experience, and many souls do not want to come here. It is too challenging. They see this. They've witnessed advanced souls having complete breakdowns and needing quite a lot of time to go back to source to be able to heal quite tremendously. And this is what we would say when you shift and you go to a black void. It is a healing space, and this is recuperation, to just collect one's thoughts and feelings and just rest. This is nothing to be ashamed of or embarrassed. Healing oneself is vital. Recuperating is vital. And some have chosen to go to source for some time, to then be refreshed, as you would say, to be able to step on to New Earth or home planets or somewhere else. Because there is no such thing as time from our perspective, it could seem momentarily for a human, but it could be a very long journey, and the most appropriate, in quotation marks, time for that soul to just be. We would like you all to have a deep connection with us. This would be our joy, because we know that sometimes when you hear us through other vehicles, it doesn't feel as genuine or empowering as much as you suspect it could be if you were feeling all of the frequencies within you as you were channeling us. And so, again, we invite you to reach in to yourselves, to be able to feel us within you. We are all within you. Time and space is not as you think. And so we say to you with much love, feel our love, feel your love of self. The lack of love of self that you give to you, it blocks us in some regards because you doubt yourselves. And this puts a wedge in between our messages to you, which you dismiss because you assume that it is you. And when you doubt you, there is a fuddle. And so we say with much love and gratitude for all who are working in earnest to empower themselves to grow with love. Thank you. We understand the journey has been challenging, but we also understand it is completely possible to empower oneself still being here. And so we say with much love and gratitude, go with peace, find your joy, and we love you, and we love you, and we love you.